being an artist to me is not just about making a living out of it or doing it full time, but it's also about deciding to try and be creative in small ways every day and give yourself space to be that.
Hello, my name is Eline Perez and you're listening to Are You an Artist? Today I'm joined by Eloise Frey for a conversation about training in dance during COVID, screen dance, and selling your image. Eloise's honesty and sensitivity really stayed with me, so I hope you enjoy listening. Dear Eloise, we met while working at the place, and from that moment you became a friend. I always knew you'd join this podcast one day, and here we are. You're a French contemporary dancer, movement creative, dance filmmaker, and photographer based in London. Your work explores abstract themes that reflect the human experience in today's society. And yes, I stole that line from your beautiful website. We're going to talk about your creative work, of course, but also our love for Monica and Penélope Cruz.
So real.
Thank you for being here. And Eloise, are you an artist?
Wow. Well, thank you so much for these kind words. And thank you for inviting me. It's such a big question. Are you an artist? Yes, I think I am. Yeah, I think short answer, yes.
How would you define it for you, being an artist?
Sometimes it's hard to know because obviously life can take you in so many different directions depending on the responsibilities you have. So being an artist to me is not just about making a living out of it or doing it full time, but it's also about sort of deciding to try and be creative in small ways every day and give yourself space to be that every day. And yeah, it's more of a state of mind, I guess. That's my answer.
Wow. And what kind of child were you? I think you started dance quite early, right?
Yes, yeah. I think I was probably 4. I really started in a proper academy when I was 5 or 6. I was a pretty shy kid. I've always been told that. I was more comfortable with adults than other kids. I think that's...
Weirdo.
Yeah, so it was definitely pretty shy, pretty introverted. I'm still introverted now, but yes, that's how I was.
And you started in the conservatoire as well, right?
Yes.
How was that? Because I have a lot of beliefs about French conservatoire, and I haven't been there, but I heard a lot about them.
Yeah, you'll probably be confirmed with what you think about these. Yeah, the conservatoire was definitely a very tough experience. It was also very necessary, I think. It was a difficult environment. Sometimes the teachers were very rough, and the relationships between them and also the administration and the whole environment of the whole building was just very tense and very intense. When we were younger, it was a bit easier, but then obviously I stayed there for 13 years and I had different teachers and things like that. They really helped me in a lot of ways, definitely, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. But it's definitely an education of very strict, always doing the same thing.
So you had ballet, contemporary dance?
Yeah, at first we had equal ballet and contemporary, and then they switched the way it worked, so we had to choose, and I chose contemporary. And then I still had ballet, but only 2 hours per week or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many hours of contemporary dance?
It was 2 hours every evening plus 3 hours or 4 hours on Saturday.
That is crazy.
Yeah. It was really intense. I know some students had a split schedule with school, so they were doing morning at school and then afternoon at the conservatoire. I didn't do that. I did the full day at school and then the conservatoire on top, which was, it was very... I didn't have any life outside of school and dance, but yeah, that's how it worked.
And How was the contemporary dance class? Because here I think contemporary dance is quite different when you go to a class to train. And I've never done contemporary dance in the French conservatoire.
I think it's really reliant on like who's the teacher. The teacher I had for most of my like training in contemporary was a Cunningham trained teacher, so I mainly did Cunningham basically.
Wow.
Yeah, so floor work I barely did any. I started like the 3 final years of my studies there. There was a new teacher who started like introducing floor work to us, but it was very like foreign to me, especially when I moved here and I did like the BA at the place. It was so much more floor work and I just wasn't used to that at all. So yeah, it was definitely a different way of training the body. Yeah.
And why coming to London?
It was actually so random, kind of. I mean, after my years at the Conservatoire, I sort of was feeling like I didn't really want to make dance a professional thing. Like I was sort of done with it. I just wanted to do film. I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
So I applied for La Sorbonne, like cinema school in Paris. Yeah. And I got it. So I was like, okay, surely I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to study film. But actually, I had also applied to the place here. It was the only dance school I've applied for. And it was because like my teacher really like, encouraged it. Like I kind of, he encouraged
like,
it.
Oh, no, come on.
Yeah, he was like, well, if you don't continue dancing, your films are going to be shit. That's literally what he said. Which is, but yeah, so I applied just here and I was waitlisted, but then I heard back that actually I got in. And when I heard the news, I was like, okay, I know that I'm going to come here and do this instead.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the story.
So you came in. How was your first days here?
At the place?
At
or
the
in
place
London?
and also in London?
Yeah, I was quite young. I was still 17 when I moved. Yeah, it was. I don't think I realized it at the time how massive of a thing it is to like actually change countries.
Maybe it's better like that.
I think it was, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I think I would have been like overthinking and just like, no, I'm too scared. But actually, no, it was good that I just didn't realize. So the first days, it was hard for me, like, because I'm also quite anxious in general. So it was hard for me to adapt here and like force myself to go out by myself and do all these things. And then new school, and it was COVID time. So it was so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was such a weird...
So which year did you move to London?
September 2020. Yeah, like right in the middle. So we had like the first lessons at the place. There were like squares on the floor and we had to like stay in the squares. We couldn't like get too close to the other students.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we were in like really small groups of like 10 people, which was really nice because that's how I met close friends that I had throughout the BA. But it was a very different experience to like other years, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your English?
I actually did a lot of English at school because I really liked English. I wasn't sure why I was doing it, but I just liked it. So it served me well because moving here was still a big adjustment, especially like understanding people with the different accent because I was mostly used to American English. And expressing myself was the hardest, and it took me a lot of years, I think, to feel comfortable enough expressing myself in English. And still now, I get frustrated sometimes. I'm just like,
But
I wish I could just speak French. Yeah.
Which is probably why whenever we see each other, we just switch to French.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Some people say you have different personalities when you speak different languages. So I do feel that. Yeah.
What's your English personality compared to your French one?
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm not sure I have an answer, but it feels like a more professional language to me because it feels like, when I use it, it's mostly in professional context, because otherwise, if I'm with friends from back home or family or things like that, I always speak French. So there is a bit of distance between English and French, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A bit more official, let's say. But yeah, I think it's still evolving as well, the more I stay here and the more I speak, yeah.
And so after your BA, you did a MA, and then you studied filming, basically.
Yes, yeah. It worked out well because it's something that I was interested in before. When I applied to the place, I saw that they were doing this MA screen dance. So I had that in the back of my head because I wanted to join a combined film and dance together. So it really worked out well. I was so happy to do this MA. Honestly, it really like narrowed down my path and like made it more clear for me where I was going to fall into this world, basically.
And were you filming stuff before that?
I was, yeah. I always used to take photos. That's what I did mostly, even before I moved here. Filming, yeah, it came a bit later. I think end of high school, that's when I started like really thinking about doing cinema. Yeah.
And do you know where you want to go now?
That's such a big question.
What's the balance between dancing and filming?
Yeah, I think that's honestly continues to evolve. For me, film is interesting because it can introduce dance to like audiences that don't normally see dance. A friend of mine who I just did a video with on Instagram, like he's making all these reels with dancers around London. And it's now like starting to gain more traction.
I think I've seen that reel.
Yeah, it's Jan. I don't know if you...
It looks really cool.
Oh, thank you, yeah. But yeah, no, it's like such a fun concept. And it's like the fact that it's now gaining more and more audiences, it's really nice to see because then more people are like, what is happening? But actually I like it. And it's like introducing dance to so many more people, which is really lovely. And I would like to do that with my films if I can. And I would like to pair sort of more conventional film structures with dance film so that it's not so like niche. So I think that's where I'm headed. That's where I would like to be headed. We'll see what actually happens. But yeah.
But you've already had like, and actually I've just remembered that I forgot to watch your film. That you sent me a link.
Oh, that's
and
okay.
I kind of felt this week, I was like, there's something I should be doing and I'm not doing it.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
But yeah, you've already had like a film being shown in festivals. And
yeah, I've made 2 films during the MA.
And how is it for you to see your work being presented in front of others? And
yeah, it's such a crazy experience. My film Muse was shown recently in the festival in my hometown in France, which was so like lovely and crazy, and it was in a cinema as well, so it was super like official, and yeah, it was really nice for my family to come see it. And my friends, but it felt like crazy to see my film with like the other films, because for me I always like I can't help it. I always compare what I do with like what's happening in the field right now and like what other people are doing. Yeah, I'm always like, I should have done this better. Or, like I should have done more of this. But yeah, no. So it was crazy seeing my film along with these like other very like professional, great films.
Do you have that feeling when you go to the cinema and your film is presenting with other projects?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
That's really interesting.
I'm like, wow, it's like crazy that they picked mine along with all of these, because it's like, yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel a little bit the same with dance. I don't know, when I film myself dancing, and then at first I can be like, oh, that's fine, and then I watch other things and then I'm like, actually it's terrible, I have such a bad technique and I should practice more, and what is this like?
Yeah, I definitely get that. I feel the same about most of my work. I've tried like working on this because it's like, I know there's a saying that says like, comparison is the thief of joy, which is so true, honestly, because then sometimes I'm like, actually, we're just all doing our best and we're just all doing what is unique to us, which is so nice, because otherwise everything would be the same. So we should just, be confident about what we have to give out. Yeah.
It is hard with social medias because you have to use those platforms, and it's a great way to share. And as you say, like then you can be accessible but also that's where you see everything else. And
so true.
Yeah.
I've tried to move away from looking too much at social media because it was really like eating my brain. It felt like it was eating my brain. And it's still like posting to me is just like very daunting. I don't like doing it. But it's needed. In the industry, that's how it works, like professionally. You have to like have a good Instagram to show and like your work on there, and yeah.
How do you define yourself when people ask you, oh, who are you? What do you do?
That's really hard. I feel like it changes every time. I would say I'm a dancer first because that's like what's been most present in my life from the start to now. And that's what I've really trained in. I'd probably say dancer first, and then now I would probably say filmmaker, like dance filmmaker as well, and dance photographer, because that's what I've been up to mostly. And I'm doing lots of different things, smaller things, and yeah.
And do you have a routine or something that helps you find balance between those things? Because, I mean, dancing, you have to kind of keep in shape in a way, but also I know that editing, like I have that with the podcast, it can just be sitting down in front of your computer for hours.
Yes.
And
definitely.
then you also have to have jobs to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm still trying to find that balance because, now, like with obviously day jobs that we have to have, I'm spending a lot of time behind the computer anyways. And even during the MA, because it was so intense, it was like a year. So it was a lot of schedule to get through. I didn't have much time to like keep training. And also I had like an injury at the end of the BA, which sort of put things into perspective, I would say, for me. But then, I tried to take some professional classes, sometimes to try and do some workshops as well. But one week to another is never the same. I think you know that because, it's the same for everyone. But, yeah.
And when you create a new project, let's say a film project, how do you work? Like, do you have first like an idea and then become so big that you have to do something with it? Or do you say, oh, I'm going to make a film and then just how tell me how.
That's actually a really good question that I've been asking myself as well, because so far the only films I've made were like in the structure of education, so it was very structured by like the brief that they gave us, or okay, now you need to make a film for like in 2 months, it needs to be done and we need to assess it.
And did you like this structure?
I at the time I thought I didn't like it, but now I'm like, actually, I think I do need limitations, very strict ones, just because it forces me to actually sit down and be like, okay, now I need to like just focus on this. Because sometimes I feel like my brain, it doesn't have ideas all the time.
And do you know where it comes from usually when you have something that interests you? Is it from something you've seen, or is it from a conversation with a friend, or...
I think it's probably a mix. I can never really pinpoint exactly what it is. I think it's also, I do realize that I like observing a lot of things. And I think sometimes, my brain just takes all the information and makes something, processes things very slowly. And then at some point, it's just like, okay, now this theme comes to mind. Recently, the thing I've tried to start working on for a next film is about like cycles, and like in the broader sense of term, like there's always cycles in the way we work as a society, and also like in families, like generational trauma and things like that, there's always cycles that come back. And in your personal life as well, I have realized even personally that a lot of things just come back around, and it's like sort of cycles idea.
You're
is
trapped.
Like, it's sort of like, it's discussing that. I would like to discuss that in a potential new project. We'll see.
Do you think you'd like to film non-dance as well?
Yeah, the last film I did in my MA is just nature, so there's no like dancers in it. And that sort of explores this idea of like, to me, a lot of things can be dance, and also dance is about the perspective of, exactly, and the perspective of the person behind the camera as well, or like directing. I think a film can be dance if it's directed by a dancer. So yes, I would be interested in that, because I do want to like maybe bridge into more conventional film if I can. We'll see. I'm saying a lot of things. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
that'd be so cool.
I mean, it would be really nice to bring dance and like movement to a non-dancing audience, I would say, and like
And you've done a bit of modeling.
Yes, a tiny bit,
fashion modeling. And I'm interested about this experience because I've done modeling, but more like life modeling, and for photography, more commercial. But can you tell me a bit about?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear about like commercial modeling side because I haven't done that. But yeah, the runway walking honestly is so similar to performing as a dancer.
Oh.
Because in the end, you sort of have to fit also into the designer's idea of how you're gonna walk and like how you're gonna embody the clothes, basically.
So do they brief you?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. If they have like a specific idea, I haven't had any who had like a super crazy like request, but yeah, sometimes they can be like, oh, you have to walk a bit slower, or you have to walk really fast because I want the clothes to move. So yes, you are briefed, and it's about embodying the clothes more than anything else for me, and it's very similar to performing as a dancer. And it's really fun actually because it's like a rush because you're like waiting around for 5 hours standing up on heels and then
So that part.
yeah they definitely don't. I mean, obviously it's like I think it's a general thing in this sort of industry, but
why 5 hours? I don't understand.
yeah, they don't really treat us or like models in general.
So
like,
do they call you too early because they want to make sure that everybody's there?
yeah, I think so. And then they just dress everyone. They just want everything to be ready. And then they just leave you like standing for hours on heels and things like that. Yeah, it's just...
Can you read a book?
You can if you have your stuff, but then sometimes your stuff is locked away somewhere or like...
And you're standing on heels?
Yes, yeah. Last time I did something, yeah, I did find a chair, but once you have the clothes on then and the makeup on and the hair on, then they don't really care. They are gonna focus on other things. I mean, the designers I've modeled for have always been like very nice and like checked on me and stuff. But like in general, the organizers of the events they treat models as if they're like mannequins, which they sort of are, I guess, but with more personality. But then it's a rush when you're like walking, even if it's just for like a minute. It's still
Must
a
be
nice
fun,
rush.
yeah.
Yeah, it is fun, yeah.
And how is it for you to see yourself? Because that's something you do with dance when you're filmed, and obviously if the show is filmed, if the runaway is filmed, like, or...
Yeah.
What's your relationship to your own image?
Oh, that's... oh my God, yeah. The only times where I feel like I feel comfortable watching myself back on video is generally when I'm dancing. That's the only time where I'm like, okay, I can tolerate this. The other times I'm like seeing the things and I'm just like, it just doesn't match with what I think I look like. And then,
wow.
yeah, and I see that, it like, yeah. And also it's like being very critical of your own self, you know?
Yeah, because it's a lot about
yeah.
your image. I mean, these jobs, it's like... Yeah,
it is. That's why I'm interested in how it is like commercial modeling and stuff, because obviously you get all these photos and like then you have to pause and like, yeah, it's a different approach.
Because I've done it more like for private photographers.
Okay.
I haven't done something for big brands.
Okay.
And sometimes it was like dance-inspired poses. That's fine,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah, that feels familiar, I guess.
But I'm also very self-conscious, so... I've often been able to choose my clothes.
Okay, that's really good. Yeah.
And I know also sometimes when I see some of the images, I'm like, I'm never gonna show that image.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit strange.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's a very strange thing because, especially with social medias, and at the moment I'm applying for agency, so I do have to post quite a bit.
Yeah, that's...
And... You know, I just post all these images about me and this dancing that I did. And it just feels a lot of seeing myself.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of Instagram, you know. But I'm just a bit scared sometimes that people are going to think that I'm extremely self-centered, you know.
Yes, I get that. Yeah, I really get
because for me, that's just Instagram. That's just something on the side. And my personality is just completely different.
Yeah, I really get that. Yeah, sometimes... if people understand that it's for work, then it's fine. But then there's always that sort of thing where, like, yeah, people might think when they see, like, a ton of pictures and it's just like, yeah. But also, yeah, we know, like, it's needed, it's necessary. We can't really avoid it.
Yeah.
Because also it's part of the persona and, like, who you are professionally and, like, who you are as an artist is also yourself. And, like, being able to market yourself is a big thing as well, I've realized. So, yeah.
That's the thing, right? You have to sell your image.
You do. You really do. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Because then everything goes into it. Like your look, your personality, like your outfits, your everything. Yeah, it's like merging your personal way of being with your professional life. It's a bit odd. Yeah, it's like it seeps into each other, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's hard as well because sometimes it feels like you can't really, especially when you start out, you can't really be picky with what you do. So sometimes you can do something, maybe that's not like your 100% what you really would like to do, but you have to do it because it's like, okay, well, I don't know, I need the money or like I need the experience. People then have an image of you doing that, and then they're like, okay, they associate you with that. And you're like, actually, this is not really me. Yeah, this is something I've done, but this is not really.
Strange word. Now let's talk about Monica and Penélope Cruz.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I would have never imagined that I would be talking about
that. Is a very important topic. So, your fascination started with Penélope Cruz, right?
Yes. It started with Penélope, and because I saw her in Pirates of the Caribbean, I was obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and all my friends can attest to this.
Wow.
I was obsessed, yeah. And I really liked her in it. And it sort of, started being a fan. And just, it was such a phase.
That's so interesting. That's what I'm intrigued about, is you tend to have like obsessions, right?
I would say I used to. Do I still do? Not as much as before, but before, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Do you know where it comes from?
I have theories, nothing proven. Once I like something, I really will like delve into it and sort of like, but it was mostly when I was younger. I think a bit less now.
Yeah. And maybe I guess when you're a bit shy and introverted, it's like...
It's a nice escape, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, when I was younger, I did want to like... I had the dream of being an actress and like director and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, I was really young. It was like one of my dreams. But, every little kid wants to like be an actress or something. So I think maybe that sort of gave me like a role model in a way.
What age?
At the time, I think I started when I was like 11.
Oh, okay. So
12.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's when I like actually started like, oh no, I'm giving out all the information. But that's when I started having a fan page on Instagram for like Penelope and her sister Monica as well, who I watched in Unter Stress as well. Yeah. I was a bit crazy.
And so, did you do like acting classes, or like, I don't know if you had options in school or...
Yeah, I briefly did some classes in high school because there was an option. I did like theater option if I was Puck in Midsummer's Night Dream. It was the little elf.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
It was fun. I really enjoy acting actually. So yeah, and then I did a project when I was 11 with people who I still work with now, which is really nice because they're originally from England. So Jan, my friend, is part of that. And so originally they're from England, but they moved to Strasbourg. So that's how I met Jan at the Conservatoire as well. And then we worked together on this theater dance project. So there was some acting in English and in French. And we actually performed in France and here in London when I was like 11.
Wow.
And also, my best friend was also in that. So that sort of like created a nice bond. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you were interested in directing as well?
I didn't really know what it was, I think, at the time. It was like when I was a kid, I used to say, I want to be an actress, director, screenwriter, everything.
All the jobs.
I decided to do everything, so I guess I was. But that sort of started solidifying when I was like in high school, I would say. Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting. So it's like almost as if you wanted to do all the jobs in the industry, right?
Yeah, I was interested in a lot of different aspects, I think. I still am, I think. I would like to learn more about like different roles and yeah. Do
you have any dream?
It's hard because coming out of education, you're like, what's next? Like what should I look forwards to? What should I like work towards? Because all your life you're like, okay, I'm going to school to get a job. Then after this, especially because it's not like so like an easy path of like what we chose to do is so like eclectic. It's like, okay, well, what do I do now? And for me, I think now I would say making a feature film would be my dream.
Wow.
My ideal someday, maybe. But I think that's my dream right now. A dance feature film, like with dance and narrative and something in between.
Do you have inspirations or recommendations of artists? And
I really like Sofia Coppola. I really like her films, and like as she's like also a female director, that sort of I guess is also a role model in a way. But I also like Greta Gerwig in that sense. Really liked Lady Bird was really nice. I like Wenders. I like his films. Dance-wise, I think Pina Bausch has always like sort of resonated with me, but everyone knows Pina Bausch. Yeah, I think I can't really say much more because obviously there's so much that goes into it. I just lose track and then I'm just like, yeah. I think that's probably it.
Random questions of the end. What makes you laugh?
Okay. I think the absurdity of things sometimes. Yeah.
And how do you laugh?
How?
Like, I feel like you have a quiet laugh, like that you laugh a bit more in your head than out there.
Yeah, I'm laughing right now, but you can't hear it. I think that's the case. I think I don't really laugh much, like outwardly, because obviously maybe it's also because I'm introverted, but I love laughing quietly, and yeah, that's probably it.
Do you believe in talent?
Oh, yeah. My first instinct is to say yes. I think everyone has a talent in various things, but I think talent really does exist. There's like affinities and predispositions for certain things in every one of us. Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead?
Oh, okay. Agnès Varda. Probably.
Who's that?
Filmmaker. She was a filmmaker during the French New Wave.
Oh.
She was one of the only female directors. And I would be intrigued to just have a conversation with her. Yeah, that's it.
Do you know what kind of questions you'd ask?
No, I think just I would be intrigued to see where the conversation takes us, really. Yeah.
Letting
if
it
that
go.
makes sense.
Letting it flow. If you could live a parallel life, so you still have your life, but you just have a bonus one, do you know what you do, where you live?
Oh, that's so cool. I love these questions. Honestly, they're so good. I thought about this because sometimes the question does ask itself and you're like, okay, what would I do if I wasn't doing this? I probably would either be a journalist. I feel like same thing like that, or like a reporter, like a photography. I would love to do that, in another life. Or something that gets me to travel a lot. But something with a bit more stability. I would probably, if I had like a bonus life on top of that one, I would probably pick like a more traditional path to follow. Yeah, just out of curiosity, see where that takes me, like what changes. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any coming project that you want to share? That you want to share?
Actually, the thing I mentioned about like the cycles, I think that's a theme that's I want to explore, but in a potential new like short film. I think that's the thing I'm trying to work on right now. Yeah, it's still very at the start, but we'll see.
Thank you so much, Eloise.
Thank you. It was so lovely.